One of the final pieces is now in place for real military action in Iran. You can see the plane here. It's an E-11 Alpha. It's a United States Air Force aircraft that serves as a communication link between ground troops, aircraft, and also United States ships in the area. We already know about the carrier strike group in the area. There's other ships in the Mediterranean north of Iran. There are carrier strike group USS Abraham Lincoln just outside the Gulf of Oman. But now this plane, you can see the call sign here, left Warner Robins, Georgia, and it is en route. Apparently it's on station right now. And this is typically the last move before real military actions happen in an area of something hot like this. Donald Trump is finished playing games with the Iranians. The Iranians have been flying what I would say spy drones, conducting surveillance flights on United States naval ships, trying to get some data. Iran is in a series of turmoil right now. There are riots against their regime. The Ayatollah Khomeini is very close to being overthrown. It could be a move to get peace in the Middle East with just maybe a shove from the United States. But what we're seeing right now with this aircraft rolling in here, this is the final piece in place before real action is taken. And I'll show you this clip here of what is happening in Iran with this carrier strike group and what it actually means.
The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group has reached the Arabian Sea and is currently positioned near the Gulf of Oman, which is very close to Iran. From this position, fighter jets can take off from the aircraft carrier and carry out bombing missions against Iran at any time. In addition to this, the United States has delivered advanced air defense systems and other military equipment to all its bases across the Middle East. The Carrier Strike Group has been deployed close to Iran specifically for this reason, to conduct airstrikes if required. A Carrier Strike Group typically consists of 6 to 8
Now, the carrier strike group, the beauty of this is it can just sit on the horizon and shut everything down. And you see here all of these other bases that are in this area. And the positioning is power. That's the power with a carrier strike group. Not only all of the firepower, but the position, because it serves as a blockade. Nothing is getting through there. And I mentioned that because right now, Donald Trump has came out this morning and has brought up the fact that he's going to start a naval blockade against Iran and preventing any of their oil exports from leaving. He's already done this with Venezuela. This is going to do the exact same thing here that it did in Venezuela. It's going to cut off the oil supply. It's going to cut off the funding to countries like China, Russia, and other bad actors, North Korea, Yemen. All these countries that hate us could now see their oil cut off. And when you cut off their oil, you cut off their vehicles, you cut off their military, you really strangle any military capabilities that they have. The Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, bin Salman, has come out now and made a statement and told the Iranian president that he would not allow its airspace or territory to be used by the United States for an attack against Iran. Now, we know about the bad actors that Saudi Arabia has had here in the United States. We all remember New York City, and all of those people that were on those planes were from Saudi Arabia. I don't know what this does here for relations, but it's not good. This is going to put a lot of pressure on this area. With pressure in the area, this brings up what happened yesterday, about 24 hours ago. A nuclear facility in Iran blew up. There was a massive explosion there. Now, could that explosion be United States military operations to prevent them from spinning up or enriching more nuclear materials? Very well could be. Could it be testing? Very well could be. Could it be an accident? Absolutely right. because I don't think any of these Iranian scientists are probably going to be like the cousins of Einstein, right? But could it be internal sabotage? What we're seeing in Iran right now is an actual move to overthrow the government. The Ayatollah Khomeini is not very popular right now. The religion there, people want freedom. And with freedom comes some real speed bumps. And I believe if Donald Trump can encourage some freedom there in the Middle East, in Iran, we very well could see some real peace there, because it seems like Iran just thrives on war and conflict. They're the number one state sponsor of terror in the world. And there's a lot of people here in the United States that are sympathetic for their whole regime, for their methodology. And I don't know how this plays out, but I talked about it in a live stream this morning on my show with regards to the protesters. And could we actually see like this Red Dawn moment here in the United States? Rumors, information, actually real data is showing that there are 1,500 Iranians that are on various watch lists that are here in the United States. And what better time to target American soil, target American citizens, other than like a real time of unrest? The Iranians watch our news. The Iranians watch CNN, Fox, Newsmax. These people are not dumb. And we're seeing protests across the United States. And I think half of the people protesting in the U.S. would probably fight for sleeper cells here in the United States if they were activated. I really believe that. I don't know how long it would last, but these people think that cell phones are like a force field, that they're going to be protected. We're going to see real action in Iran. There is no reason to put that much military might and power in the Gulf off the coast of Iran if something wasn't planned. And now you see the final piece, this final piece of aircraft that serves as a communications link for all of the ground and sea forces in the area. Is this the last move before there's engagement? Is this the last piece that needed to be in play before the president takes real action? Are we going to see some regime change in Iran? I don't know. I know we've got problems here in our own country, but the sleeper cells, we know where they're all coming from. They're coming from these countries like Iran, Yemen, Afghanistan, Palestine. That's where they're here from. And how do you combat that? You take the battle to them. I'd love to get your opinion in this. But for anyone that just keeps their head in the sand, head in a bucket, and I know it sounds like I've got my head in a bucket because of this flu, but if you don't think that this plays real importance on the world stage, you should really rethink what's happening here in America. Because what's happening right now on our own soil is a time of unrest, not very far removed from what we're seeing in Iran. There are people here in the country actively calling for the removal of the president. They're calling him a fascist dictator, but they will sympathize for the Ayatollah. We're seeing real riots here in the United States. What's the next move here? What's the next move in Iran? Only time will tell. But I do believe that the last piece is in place for you to see some real targets being removed in Iran. This is the Ben Dyke Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Smash a like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. This is real, ladies and gentlemen.